Okay, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at which fights that UFC should make after UFC 311, right? So let's get into it. So first off, we got Kevin Holland, and I think Kevin Holland should fight Brian Battle, right? It's going to probably, I guess, seem a little weird, seem a little random, but honestly, man, I don't know. I just don't really care about Kevin Holland. Like he himself doesn't really care about himself. You're looking at his Korea, he doesn't really have any goal. He doesn't have a purpose. He's not going for the belt. He's not even sure which division he wants to be in. He's moving back and forth between, welterweight, middleweight. He's kind of doing these random fights, fighting Delici, fighting Oleg Zukic, fighting, MVP. And yeah, I don't know, man. It just feels like he doesn't really care. He doesn't care at this point. He's just there to have fun. And he's not even really trying to win. And then with Brian Battle, he kind of had a lackluster performance. He took Randy Brown to a split decision, kind of Porter Bautista, who was just holding him up against the cage. So Brian Battle probably doesn't deserve top 15, you know. So because of that, I think Holland's a good fight. It's a good way for him to kind of step up and kind of make a name for himself again, right? Because yeah, his stock kind of went down against the Randy Brown fight, right? So Holland's a good way or a good stepping stone. It's kind of maybe after this fight he wins against Holland, he can look for a top 15. Right, and then with Holland, yeah, I think he should go back down to welterweight. I think he's just too small. I think he's too small for middleweight. He's kind of, has that lanky, skinny, tall physique. And yeah, I think he just struggles against the grapplers, right? So I think with Brian Battle, I think that would be a better matchup for him. So I think he should go back to welterweight. But I don't know, man. Like at the end of the day, this is a random fight. To be honest, they're probably not gonna make this. They're probably gonna do something weird, like I don't know, Kevin Holland versus like Michelle Pearl or something. I don't know, something that makes no sense because that seems to be, the fights that Kevin Holland wants to fight or the fights he wants to take. But yeah, so that's what I would say. Next up, we got Reina Dorita. So Reina Dorita, he actually looked pretty good against Holland. I mean, I know it's Holland, but he did pretty well. Took him down, submitted him in the first round. I think he should fight Jack Hermansson. He called for top five. Like, let's be honest, bro. He's not getting top five. Like, I know he's a former champ, but middleweight's just too stacked right now. If it was like a flyweight situation where, the champ's already beaten everyone, there's no contenders, bringing Kai Sakura, right? That was fair enough. But in middleweight, it's just too stacked. You got Strickland fighting against Strickers, then you got Hamza next to the line, then you got like Imavov, if he beats Izzy, he deserves a shot. If Braulio beats Whittaker, he deserves a shot. Then you got like Anthony Hernandez, coming up. There's just way too many contenders right now, right? So Reina Dirty, he's not getting top five, bro. He's not getting top five. I think top 15 is reasonable because he is a bit older. I think he's like 34 or something, and he is a former champ, so he does have, I guess, a bit more, let's say, bargaining power when it comes to kind of which fights he can ask for. So yeah, I think it's to fight Jack Hermansson. Jack Hermansson, he's been away for a bit. I think it's been like a year since he fought, almost 1 year. And yeah, I think he's 13th in the rankings, so I think that's a good step up for Reina Dorita. I was looking at some of the rankings, looking at some of the other guys in the rankings, and yeah, I think this is the best one because I mean we could put against, we could put him against Michelle Perro or Shara, but he's just gonna take those guys. Yeah, he's just gonna take those guys down and sub them like straight away, right? So it's like we want to see something. We see something, I guess, somewhat challenging, like oh, sorry, Jack Hermansson, he's 36. I know he's 36, but he has a bit of a grappler. He can grapple, so I think that would make it a bit more interesting, right? Rather than, Rain Druida just fucking, taking down Michelle Parra and subbing him in the first round. So yeah, he did good. But yeah, I think this is a good kind of step up fight. Next, we got Sergey Spivak. I think he lost in the first round against Almeida. Yeah, I think he should fight the winner of Mick Parkin versus Marcin Tybura, yeah, I think that's going to be Mick Parkin probably, right? We don't know much about him, but he has a win streak, I think. I think he has like five round one knockouts. So I think if Mick Parkin wins, he should fight Sergey Spivak. Yeah, so there isn't really too much to say there. Next up, Jolton Almeida. I think he should fight Pavlovich. Now, this is gonna, I guess, look weird. People might be confused at this, but I think that heavyweight's just in a weird position right now, right? Because with the Gane Volkov robbery, it just messes everything up, right? Because Volkov should have won, and then it would have been like, okay, we do Volkov Aspinall 2, and then Gane could, fight Almeida. But now that Gane like won, or like, technically won, right? But we only got robbed. Now it's tricky because it's like we don't know what they're gonna do, right? Are they gonna do Aspinall Gane? Are they gonna do like John Jones, Aspinall, and then Gon just sits out. Like we don't know what's gonna happen, right? But um I think the fact that Gon got the win, like the robbery win, right? I think they're probably gonna do Gon Aspinall. That's what it looks like. Then Volkov will have to fight like Blades or something, right? So I think because of that, Pavlovich is the only guy above the rankings, right, or above Almeida that kind of deserves a shot, right? Because yeah, I mean Almeida's been fighting down, right? He fought I think Romanov, and then he just fought Sergey Spivak, right? Who and yeah, he was above both of them in the rankings, right? So I think he should finally look for a kind of shot up, and I think it should be Pavlovich, right? I think that's more intriguing as well because with the Gon matchup, but that's what should like ideally it should be Gon, if you didn't get the win over Volkov, the robbery win. But with Gon, I feel like it's pretty much guaranteed he's gonna win, right? Gon's a good striker, but he doesn't really knock people out like cold, right? Like he doesn't starch people in the first round. He's more technical. I think because of that, Almeida would have a better chance of just, his odds look better against Gon, right? With Pavlovich, there's always that knockout kind of fear, right? There's that fear that you could get knocked out, right? So I think this one's actually more of an interesting matchup. Yeah, I think this would be fun. And yeah, obviously I know Pavlovich is booked against Rosenstrike, so this is assuming he beats Rosenstrike, which I think he should. Um, yeah, I know he's lost kind of a bit of aura, like Aspinall knocked him out. Then Volkov kind of schooled him, but I don't know, he should beat Rosenstrike, and then he could probably look at fighting Jolton Almeida. So I think that's the next matchup for Almeida. Next, we got Jamal Hill. I think he should fight Roundtree. It kind of sucks for Hill because he's been fighting these killers back to back. Fought Per, got knocked out. Now he's got knocked out by Yuri, and now again, I'm trying to set him up with Roundtree. We probably would knock him out as well at this point, but yeah, I just think Hill. Yeah, I think he needs to fight down obviously. Right, he just won number two Yuri, and yeah, I think just looking down at the division, I think this is just the most intriguing matchup, right? They're both gonna stand. They're gonna both. Yeah, they're gonna both keep it on the feet, right? No one's probably gonna shoot a takedown. I think it's just the most intriguing matchup to make, right? I think Roundtree, although he lost to Pereira, he did, I guess do the second best performance. You could say second or third best, behind Izzy and Yan. He survived the longest, right? Survived longer than Yuri and Hill. So and he took 2 rounds of Pereira, right? So there is that argument that he still deserves to fight up, right? Despite the loss to Pereira. So I'm fine with this fight, and it was booked previously, so there's a bit of story there. And yeah, I think Rakic, like, bro, I don't want to see Rakic fight, but I'm tired of Rakic just getting all these like higher ranked opponents. Like this guy fought Blachowicz, Yuri, and Ankalaev back to back, and he lost all of them. Like apart from Blachowicz, like yeah, that was an injury, I think. But far from that, like you lost to Yuri, you lost to Ankalaev. Like why are people still saying you should fight Hill? Like why he needs to fight down, but Rakic needs to fight down. I'm tired of people saying Rakic is this like perfect complete fighter. It's like yeah, on paper maybe, but this dude's like the Leon Edwards of light heavyweight, bro. He needs to just like get some heart. But anyway, enough ranting about Rakic. Yeah, I think this is the fight to make. Roundtree Hill. Hill took a bit of damage as well, so he's probably looking to take some time off. Roundtree as well. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's probably just chilling for now. So I think this should be the next fight. Next up, we got Yuri. So I think Yuri should fight Olberg. Bro, what is that picture of Yuri, bro? He looks like a dyke, bro. Anyway, yeah, I think Yuri should fight Olberg. Or the winner of I guess Blachowicz Olberg. I think it's gonna be Olberg. Cause yeah, I mean Blachowicz is still good. He hasn't looked bad. Like he took Ankalaev to a draw, took Pereira to a split decision. I just think the injuries, the age is gonna catch up, and then Ulberg will probably win, right? I think Yuri should fight Ulberg. I don't think, bro, you shouldn't fight the winner of Yuri Ankalaev. Like, sorry, not Yuri Ankalaev. You shouldn't fight the winner of Per Ankalaev because we've seen him lose twice to Per. And although Yuri looked really good, he actually made some improvements with his head movement. I just think Per is too clean. He's too accurate. He's a much smarter striker than Hill. When Yuri was like dipping his head or slipping punches. I could see in those moments, Per setting something up, right? Like feinting a jab into like a hook or something, or feinting a punch into a kick and cashing Yuri, right? So although I think Yuri made some improvements, I think it's too soon to see him against Per. I think Yuri needs to do a bit more. And even Ankalaev, like if Ankalaev beats Per, I think they're probably gonna do a rematch unless Ankalaev somehow beats him like in the first round super dominantly. So yeah, I don't think Yuri should fight for the belt. I think he should fight the winner of Blachowicz Ulberg. And yeah, I think that would be, I don't know, that would be an interesting one. I don't know. Ulbeck hasn't really impressed me, to be honest. Like, I know I think he's on a winning streak, right? He hasn't done anything super impressive. You know, he went to decision with Volcon. He did knock out, I think, Mansfield, right, in like 12 seconds, but he doesn't look like anything special. You know, he just has a typical, kickboxing, city kickboxing style, but he's nothing like too crazy, right? So I'd probably go with Yuri. I think Yuri with improvements. I think he would win. You know, it's also the wrestling component, but yeah, I think that's the next fight to make for Yuri, right? We don't want to get him back to the belt straight away, right? We need to build him up, get at least I say one or two more wins, right, before we can look at having another shot at the title, right? Next up, Umar Nurmagomedov. Now this one was surprised, bro. I was actually so surprised that he lost, bro. I actually thought he was gonna win, and I guess the beginning of the fight, how Umar was kind of outstriking him. There wasn't really too much happening on the ground. I thought that's how the most of the fight was gonna go. I was surprised, man. I was surprised to see Marab win, especially pretty convincingly. Round 4 and 5 were like clear Marab. So I'm pretty impressed with Marab. But anyway, I think Uma should fight. I think he should fight the winner of Song Yudong and Cejudo. I think it's gonna be Song Yudong. I don't know. Like Cejudo looks alright, but I just think that yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Cejudo just lost motivation. This guy's like fighting. Fought once last year. He's taking a whole year layoff, and then he's fighting again. So I think Song Yudong probably should win that, and then they should do yeah, you should fight Uma. Right, because I think Uma, like with bantamweight, it's like yeah, like I don't know, like Uma got pushed really quickly. He just fought Sandhagen. He hasn't really fought any like other of these guys, right? And I feel like that showed in the Merab fight, right? Like, he was doing good at the start, but then he didn't have that experience to kind of make adjustments, right? Merab was making adjustments and he was getting better as the fight got on, right? You wanna get better as the fight goes on, right? You don't wanna, peak early, win the first, 2 rounds. And then, just crash out. You just crashed out, you gassed really fast. So I think Yuma needs more experience, man. I think we need to build him up. I see a lot of people saying Yan or like Figueiredo. I think he needs to go lower. I think he needs to fight down more. Because I get he's number 2 ranked, but he's been jumped, like they've jumped him, they fast tracked him, right? So like he hasn't really earned that number 2 spot. It's not like he's been, fighting. He hasn't cleaned out the division, He hasn't been on a crazy like beating win streak. I know he was on a win streak, but it wasn't like ranked opponents, right? It wasn't being like top 10, top 15. So I think he should fight Song Yudong. And I think this fight was rumored as well. So I think that'll be a good one. And then O'Malley and Yan can probably fight, right? They can do O'Malley Yan too. Hopefully the winner of that gets the shot. So yeah, we'll see. But I think this is the next fight for Uma. Next up, Marab. I think Marab should fight Pantoja. I see a lot of people saying O'Malley, and I'm kind of scared they're gonna do O'Malley, man. I don't want to see it, bro. Okay, I should change. I should rephrase that. I do actually think O'Malley has the best chance of beating Marab. I think O'Malley could knock him out, and I think we saw signs of that in the first fight in the Sphere, right? O'Malley had moments where he had him hurt, and it looked like he could have, done a lot of damage, right? But for some reason, I don't know, he didn't pounce, right? It was like a minute left. I don't know why he didn't just go all out, but yeah, I think O'Malley. This is like the Adesanya treatment. You can't get a shot off a loss, bro. I don't think O'Malley should get a shot off a loss. Then Jan's done good work, but I don't know. Like, you got 50-45, man. You got 50-45, and he has made improvements. I think he would have a better chance, but I think Rob would still just win. I think his pressure would be too much. And yeah, so I don't know. There's no clear contender right now. Like, Umar's beat number 1, number 2, number 3, and then he's beat like a bunch of other in the top 15. So. It's yeah, man. I just don't think there's a clear contender. I think this is the fight to make. But I think Pantoja, Merab, they're kind of in similar situations. They're both been undefeated for like who knows how many years. They've cleared out their divisions, and they're both kind of these like unstoppable like grapplers. Where it's like who's gonna beat any of these guys? Right? We don't know who's gonna be either of these. And if I was in a similar situation where there isn't like a clear contender, it's kind of like Royval's kind of like Jan, right? Like Royval's on a 2-5 win streak now, but again, it's like he lost dominantly. And with Royval, he lost twice, but Royval lost twice to Pantoja. So it's like, do we really want to see that fight? So I think this is the fight to make, man. I think Pantoja Marab should fight, and in the meantime, the division can kind of figure itself out, right? Both flyweight and bantamweight, right? In the meantime, we can do, I don't know, Roy Val can fight Manel Cap, Kai Kara can fight, I don't know, someone else, just we can get a clear contender, right? Get some clear contenders. Wasu and Belive, I don't know, whatever his name is, he could come up as well, right? And then with bantamweight, we could do, Yan O'Malley 2, Uma Song Yadong, and then, maybe some other mashups to kind of figure the division out, right? Yeah, because right now, yeah, man, I don't want to see rematches, but I want to see some fresh matchups. I think that's the matchup to make, bro. Because both these guys look unstoppable right now, and yeah, man, I think this wants to be a crazy fight. I don't even know who would win, bro. I don't know who would win because I don't think we've ever seen Pantoja get taken down. I don't think anyone's ever attempted to kind of hold him down, right? And they both have, I guess, durability. I mean, Pantoja's a good chin. That guy's an iron chin, so Murad wouldn't really be able to hurt him. But Murad, I guess, Murad's kind of chinny to be honest. He even got rocked, I think, in the first round against Umar a bit. He gets rocked like a lot. He got rocked against Cejudo, Marlon Moraes, O'Malley. But he does have that durability, So I don't know how this fight would go. I could see Pantoja kind of winning the earlier rounds, using his leg kicks. Maybe he takes Murad down, but I don't know. Like Pantoja is better. Well, yeah, I guess Pantoja is better at control than Uma. So we could see Pantoja take him down, maybe going for a submission or even just gathering, control time. But I don't know, man. I think this would be a banger of a fight, but I think this would be a banger. So I think this needs to be next. I think Pantoja is also one of the only champions that kind of has deserved the right to go up. Well, everyone wants to win one by, get one tower defense and move up. But Pantoja is the only one, probably the only one right now, maybe apart from Islam, kind of deserves to go up, right? So I think this is the next fight to make for Marab. Next up, Moicano. Yeah, man, they just got to do Paddy Pimblett versus Moicano. Yeah, I mean, this fight, I think it was rumored before. Moicano called him out. I think they should do a tough season on this, with Moicano and Pimblett as the coaches. And Moicano, I guess his stock really didn't go down, right? Like, Islam submitted him in the first round. He made it look easy, but that's kind of what we expected, right? So I don't think anyone's looking at not Darius. Right? No one's looking at McConnell, and no one's like mad at him, right? We're not thinking, oh, he's a fraud or he's shit or whatever. Like this is what we expected, right? So I think the fight to make is Paddy. I think Paddy is rumored to fight Chandler. I mean, even if that happens, win or lose, I think they just do this fight. I think it would go good. I think it would do good. It would bring a lot of attention, right, to any pay-per-view. They can make it a feature fight or co-main, probably a feature fight. Yeah, I think that's the next one to yeah, I guess this is the next fight to make, right? There's really much to say about this, right? We're kind of wanting this fight for a while, so yeah, I think this would do well, right? Next up is now okay, this one's tricky, but this one's tricky because I know they're not gonna do Armin, right? It's definitely not Armin because Dana he straight up said like when he was asked, is Armin next? He said no, that's how you know it's serious, because usually when people ask Dana what's next. He's like, I don't know, man. What was the question? What was the question? I haven't even thought about it yet. Ask me on Tuesday. Like that's usually what fucking Dana White's saying, right? The fact he said no, like straight away, immediately, tells me that like there's no way Armin's getting a shot, which is unfortunate because Armin's like, it's kind of bad for Islam, right? Because there's so many asterisks next to his kind of title defenses, right? Got the second Volk fight with short notice. This Moicano fight, that was last minute change, right? And Moicano's like number 10 ranked, right? Poirier again, he was coming like he only had one fight win streak against Benoit. Um, and then yeah, I think it was like 3 months later. It wasn't even 3 months. It might have been like short, bro. It might have been like a Poirier had a short camp, I think. And then yeah, Oliver was like the only good win, and I guess Volk was a good win at the first Volk fight. But Armin's the only other guy who's kind of like on this long streak, who's kind of beat higher level competition, beat Oliver, beat Dariush, and he's the only one that kind of would be. I'm not saying he doesn't have solid title defense. It would be the one that would like put the like stamp on his legacy. Like okay, Islam has beat a prime fighter. Yeah, he's beat a high level fighter in their prime, and Armin's that fighter, right? Stylistically speaking, you know. he can grapple, he can strike, and it would be the toughest test for Islam, right? So I'm actually really annoyed that this fight didn't happen because Islam needed him, and Islam needed it for his legacy, but now instead we got Moicano. But yeah, unfortunately, this fight isn't gonna happen. I put it here anyway because I think this is what should happen, but I know it's not happening. So I don't know, man. Honestly, it's super tricky. Like I know people are saying Oliveira. I don't want to see Oliveira, man. Like it's not gonna help Islam's legacy. He's already beat Oliveira in his prime. Oliveira's probably out of his prime now. We did make improvements against Chandler, but he did look a lot slower, right? And same with Armin. He looked not as good, right? He looked kind of hesitant on the feet. Oliveira has changed. He's become more patient, but I don't know, man. I think Oliveira does his best work kind of in the chaos, right? When he's just going for the finish, right? And I think Oliver hasn't shown that kind of same I don't know, like yeah, that same just drive to like go and end the fight straight away, you know. So I don't know, man. I think and it's another rematch, right? Like if Islam fights Oliveira, his resume is just gonna be full of rematches, but it's gonna be like Oliveira twice, Volkanovski twice. If Hooker somehow beats Gaethje and he fights over against me, Hooker twice. If Armin gets a shot later, it's gonna be Armin twice. Like 8 of his fights are going to be from the same 4 opponents, bro. Like, I don't want that shit, man. We want Armin, bro. I need Armin to fight Islam. I know it's not gonna happen, so honestly, I don't fucking know what's gonna happen, bro. It just sucks for Islam. You can't go up to welterweight, Bilal ruin that plan. There's no immediate guy to fight, right? Like he beat Poirier, he's beat Oliveira, he's beaten Dan Hooker, and then Gaethje, just got slumped by Holloway after getting dominated. So it's just like there's no one to fight, man. I guess Gaethje Hooker. I could see if Gaethje does somehow like knock out Hooker in the first round or something in the first second round. We could see a quick turnaround. But June maybe. But even then, Gaethje people gonna like it's not a good win because I mean it's a good win. Like I think it's a good win. But people are still gonna find ways to discredit Islam, right? Like Gaethje, he beat Gaethje out of his prime, or he beat Gaethje on 2 or 3 months notice or whatever it is, right? Armin's the only win that like cannot be discredited, right? Is the only other fighter that Islam can beat that's gonna like solidify his legacy, right? As the lightweight go. Because right now there's lots of asterisks, man. There's lots of asterisks, and it sucks. But yeah, maybe I'll make a separate video about Islam's legacy and that. Yeah, so watch out for that. But yeah, I think those are all the fights we should make after UFC 311. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you next time. Bye.